Is this thing on?
I'm gonna.
Hello.
I see slides.
I'm gonna load them manually. They might not sync for people that come in late because it's not changing the backend, but it should be good enough for random kitten pictures. So, all right. We'll give everybody one more minute just because things are so strange here, and we'll let it reset here.
Yeah, I don't see kittens, but okay.
I see kittens.
I see
kitten talk.
There it goes.
We're like 50% of the way to a good talk.
There we go. Well, the problem is, yeah, see, the whole thing was, it's like, it's more like a Q&A kind of format, so I didn't have any slides, and then I was supposed to make some slides, and I don't adult well, and there's an apocalypse going on, so I was like, at the last minute, it's like, can y'all just like throw some kittens up or something up there? That should work. So there we go.
Question,
and thank you.
Who is your favorite producer of rubber duckies?
I usually, most of my rubber duckies are actually gifted to me. They're sent anonymously over Amazon. So I'm just like, whoever brings me ducks, I give out ducks. So that's the way it usually works. I like going to the, one of the things I've done is actually going, why am I actually holding the virtual mic though? That's, I just realized, I got my hand up here and I'm like holding the mic up. So the key thing is I go to some souvenir shops that have some really cool, why is my hand up? Okay. Some souvenir shops. Oh, because I'm backwards from my thing. So there you go. Okay. So go to souvenir shops and they have like weird ducks. I didn't know so many different ducks around the world were available. Like I've got a Beethoven duck and I've got like all these other kind of weird ducks that are from different cities and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Wait, huh?
We can go ahead and get, I think there's a couple questions. We can go ahead and get started. What I will go ahead and do, since this is more of a live Q&A, is I will leave things unmuted. Right now, we only have one room. So we'll keep, actually, Jayson, do you want me to field questions for you or do you want to just leave it unmuted?
Whichever. You can go. It's like.
All right. I'll moderate questions. I'll let Jayson go ahead and intro himself and we're going to go ahead and mute the world though. So in a second, everybody will be muted. And I will disable questions. Sorry about that.
So I just wanted to start off like this is a new one for me. I wanted to definitely thank everybody that came with Sean and everybody the whole crew that came up with this idea. I think it's like really effing neat. I've already hung out with a couple of my friends. It's like we've gone to a couple other places. It's like shout out to Grifter and Serbo. It's like and Serbo getting us trapped in the Stargate room, which was neat. But yeah, so this is like a really cool environment. It's like, I mean, this is not the apocalypse I envisioned, but you know, I'm going to just roll with it. It's a no judgment one. So we just all cope how we can. So I really thank you for taking your time to come up here and come to the conference. It's like, and learn and trying to get involved. Yeah, but it's been really crazy. So what I do is I talk a little bit about, I start off by just talking a little bit about myself. It's like, this is a talk that I give when I go to DEF CON groups or universities around the world. It's like, I'll just do a little like a Q&A, like, hey, this is what I do. This is how I do things. And now is your opportunity to ask me all different kinds of things. And those questions are like, you know, wide open. It's like a lot of them are like I can do red teaming. I've done blue team talks. It's like I've done red team talks. I've done both jobs for over 20 years. It's like I've robbed banks and hotels and places all over the world. So I've been around a lot. And so therefore, it's like if you want to have some questions for that, I don't filter. So you got to be careful. So it's like because I will answer mostly all questions. Which makes everybody else uncomfortable. I did this one CISSP group meeting in Beijing, and we had a really cool, interesting topic discussion because of the NSA, because someone asked a question, and that was really awkward. But yeah, so it's like, so I will not filter. It's like, so just ask away and just keep them mature, because I'm sure there's some kids in here. So it's like, I mean, I'm going to say what I say, but try to keep it respectful and mindful of that. So, let's start off. Who wants to ask a question besides duck-related stuff? Oh, I forgot to add. if no one does have questions, that's okay, because especially in a lot of cultures, questions are like really awkward. So I'll randomly pick people in the audience to ask a question, because that way it's like, and then we'll just go from there as well. So it's either way, it's fine with me.
So I've unmuted the room, so you can actually just ask a question directly, or if you'd like to raise your hand, I can give you a megaphone so that everybody can hear you a little bit better.
Yes, Large Gatto, what is your question?
Let's see. What would you say that your number one physical pen testing tool would be throughout like all of your engagements over the years?
My largest pen testing tool, our most favorite one, I would definitely have to say the one that has served me most reliably and effectively has been Google. It's like doing research and recon. It's like people think that it's like really cool about, you know, doing the, well, I use this tool, or I use more Linux based, or I use more Windows based tools, or things of the nature. And quite honestly, it's like recon and reconnaissance and OSINT research is probably 90% of every single one of my attacks. It's like before I even go do something, it's like I'm doing research. I'm looking at for places, and people give out so much information. It's like I broke into this one building in Boston, and I was like, one of the key factors when you're trying to rob a place, you have to be confident like you've been in there before. You know, it's like if you look around and like you're hesitant. I was in Nicosia, Cyprus one time, robbing a bank, and I was walking about confident, like I knew where I was going, because I saw this little entranceway in this corner, and I saw some plant stairs. So I was like, okay, that's probably where the offices is. And it was not. It was a stairwell. It was like an empty thing that was like part of a stairwell thing. And it was like, and now I'm embarrassed because I go back around and people are looking at me like, what was he doing over there? And so I had a cover saying I was looking for network jacks or something stupid like that in the engagement. But it was awkward because I didn't know. It's like, because you want to walk in with confidence. So the more you have details of the location, the better you are at it. And with this one in Boston, I wanted to be able to just walk in and figure out where everything is. Well, it turns out that you can, once you've Googled and you've looked at their sites and you've looked at their building, you can then figure out who their architect is. And their architect usually showcases their work. So they will show you the interiors and the decorations, the things that are inside the building. So you can actually you make your own little makeshift map of what the inside looks like. So you know the break room's right over there. You know this is where the engineering part was. So, and another thing is like, especially social media sites are great for badges. It's like, I mean, on one particular engagement that was similar to that one, I just went on to Instagram and looked at the name of the company, and someone had legit published their badge. It's like new badge. It's like, if you want to know why security people drink, is go on Instagram and search #new badge. It's sad. So definitely look at that. It's like, and look at that research and find that, and that helps you more than anything else. So I would say my number one tool is going to be Google. It's like, it's not advanced, it's not persistent, and it's not threatening. It's like basic, adorable destruction. That's what I do. I'm just bad. I just try to do bad things. Next question. Yes. Andrew. So, I'm sorry, Andrew. He had his little hand thingy on, but I'll get you next. You're Richard. Okay, but Andrew.
What sort of analytics do you keep on your tests? Like, do you take track of whether authority-based pretexts or more submissive pleading-based pretexts are more effective? Like,
oh, that's adorable thinking that I'm that adulty. No, I do not. No. I mean, I've literally, there's sometimes I've broken into places without even wearing pants. I'm not wearing pants now. It's like, we're not even talking about when the last time I brushed my teeth. It's like, it's scary, but it's like, but no, you go in and I don't do the analytics. I do the reporting. It's like, I actually do, I'll report more of a narrative. It's like, I'm not keeping statistics. I'm not keeping numbers. Most of I do 3 different kinds of attacks. I'll do the attack where it's like, it's called a passive. I call it a passive attack, where it's like, I'm looking for you to help me. I'm someone from IT. I'm an auditor. I'm someone coming in that is trying to get a job done that's going to benefit you, and then I need you to help me with it. So it's like, hey, I'm just trying to, like, you know, we're doing this inventory so I can go in and I can put in new machines and put in more things. It's like, or I can go in and be more aggressive. It's like, which is I call the aggressive attack, where it's like I'm there as an auditor, I'm there as an executive. It's like I'm coming in for see a production line, or I'm doing an inspection. It's like, what part of surprise inspection did you not understand? It's like, if you don't want to be on there on this report, you're going to let me in the server room now and just stop discussing. You know, you got to change. It's like you got to figure out which one's going to work the most. And then other times I just do the YOLO method. It's like YOLO method is I just try to figure out something like really weird and see if it works. It's like my worst one was my best YOLO one, where I broke into a financial institution via their charity organization, posing as a TV producer who was putting them on television. It made me very sad, but it worked. And so that's what counts. So those are the 3 different methods that I worked. It's like, they've all been successful. So, I mean, every engagement I've been on, it's been a success to a varying degree. So I've never needed to like focus on one over the other. It's like they all seem to work.
Thank you.
And Jess, Richard Scary, is it Richard? Yes, Richard Scary.
Yeah, when planning an engagement, what's the number one aspect of an engagement planning that, if misplanned or not planned at all, could make or break an engagement?
What part is not? Say it one more time, because I'm.
What would you say is the most critical aspect of engagement planning? Be it the people, be it whatever.
Well, I mean, it's definitely going to be recon. It's like, I mean, that's going to be the most and crucial part of it. But another thing that people forget when you're doing the preparation is getting 100% everybody on board with what's happening. It's like, I mean, 100% trying to figure out what the scope of work is going to be. I was successful in this one engagement because legit, they said, they gave me from this one day, they said, you can start on like April 18th to April 25th. Well, I'm a hacker. It's like, and I like to cheat. So I started on the 18th at midnight, at 12:01 midnight, the day before they thought the engagement was going to happen. I started the attack. So it was already in progress by the time 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd gotten enough information. I got enough stuff because I was able to sneak in while the cleaning crew was in there, that I was able then to use that as my pretext to go in and finish the rest of the engagement. They were quite surprised. They were not too thrilled with it, but it was effective and it worked. So because it was within scope, it's like it was, this is what I was told that I could do. So make sure that you're always doing that. Always make sure that you're keeping to the letter of what is allowed for you to do. No going and saying, well, they'll forgive me later, or I want to take this shortcut, which is going to be fine. No, it's like you stay within your contract. It's like you always make sure that your management understands what your contract states, what you're able to do. So that way, when they get pissed, and when you're doing social engagements, it's like when you're doing real life things, servers do not get upset when you pop them with MSO 867. People get upset when they hold the door open for you, when they figured out they weren't supposed to. So it's like you're dealing with people, there's always going to be someone upset. So you're always going to have to understand that. It's like that you have to deal with the upset people afterwards. Everything that you do, you're going to have to own once that engagement's over. So make sure you're familiar with that. Make sure you're ready for that. I'm working on this new training that I'm doing, and one of the aspects of that training is actually working with and counseling the people after you've compromised them, because that's one no one freaking understands or is prepared for, and it sucks. It's like, and I hate that part. I mean, because I've got to tell. I mean, I literally told a bank manager. I walked him around for 30 minutes. He gave me full access to the bank. The whole time I was telling him that I was giving him all new equipment, that we were refurbishing the office. And so when I have to give the follow-up and I'm educating these people on the spot what happened and why I was the bad guy, the guy legit raised his hand like he was in grade school. And I'm like, yeah? And he's like, but the new machines, are we still getting the new machines? And I was like, no, I was lying to you. I was a bad guy. And he just looked at me like I kicked the puppy. I felt like I kicked the puppy. It was sad. I felt really bad for this dude because he just looked so sad and dejected. And I'm like, you got robbed. It's like, I mean, at least I didn't stick a gun into your face, but some of them would prefer that sometimes to the engagements that I do. So you have to understand you're dealing with people. So make sure you have everything written out. You have everything in contract. Next question. I'm going to randomly pick somebody in 4, 3.
I raised my hand, but I got a question for you over here.
Yes. Yes.
What would you consider to have been your most difficult attack, your most challenging?
My most difficult attack. Well, this is one where it was pretty difficult, but it was also awesome because on this one I failed a lot. It's like, I mean, like legit, I didn't give them the win. I always get caught on every engagement. I make sure that I get caught on every engagement. But on this one, I was like, I want to go. Oh, sorry. I wanted to make sure that I give them a win, that it's educational, so that's fine. What I did on this one was I was coming back after the last year, the year before last, I went in and I went through them like butter. It was horribly awesome because I compromised them. I did everything. The guy who hired us came back from a meeting and he found me in his chair and he's like, and I'm like, hi, were you expecting me? And I'm like the Spanish Inquisition. No one expects me. Sorry for anybody from Barcelona, but it's like, so yeah, I just, that's how I roll. So this engagement, I thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult. It's like, because I'd already done it the year before and you want them to get better. The only reason the red team exists is to make the blue team better. If you go in as a red team and you break in and you are able to get the same exact kind of attacks and you're able to get the same kind of success and you break in just the same way and you don't pat yourself on the back, you should feel ashamed because that means they learned nothing. That means they didn't take anything you taught them, anything that you showed them to heart. That's part of your job as well, making sure they make those changes, make sure that they improve. So I went on to this engagement, and this is my second time. I already know the layout. So it's like I walk into the lobby, and that receptionist, and I need to go down from the lobby, and then right up, there's these stairs going upwards, right, to the next floor, which is less monitored. So I literally just walked past her, like, gave her one of the best social engineering countermeasures available. You walk past the person and you go, hey, what's up? Works almost every time. It's like, because their response is going to be, hey, nothing, or like, hey, So you do that. It's like, so I go in and I walk in and say, hey, what's up? And she's like, excuse me. And I'm like, yes. She's like, you need to sign in. It's like, I don't know you. It's like, you need to sign in. It's like, who are you here to see? And I was like, oh, this is new. Because this didn't happen last time. So I was like, and I mean, I literally just got in. So I was like, I have got no win. I've got nothing to show for it except for getting busted within 3 minutes of being on property. So I was like, yeah, let me sign in. So I sign in with the guy I'm supposed to be meeting. And there's this one funny thing that always happens to me when I'm in engagements for some reason, is I have to go to the bathroom. As soon as I arrive, I have to go to the bathroom. It's not because of all the Diet Pepsi I drink, which could be a contributing factor, but it's like I have to go to the bathroom. So I was like, and so I told her, I said, hey, can I go to the bathroom? And she was like, sure. And so I was like, cool. So I sign in, I get the visitor's badge, and they did this really cool color-coded lanyard thing, which was neat because that was new as well. They had made other changes. And this lanyard was red showing, hey, watch out for this guy. He's a visitor. So I'd go into the bathroom, go down the hallway to go to the bathroom, and I could have gone to the left, which is the bathroom, or the right down the hallway. Guess which direction I went? Anybody? Bueller? I went that way. Exactly. I went down the hallway, compromised 3 machines within 3 minutes. It's like plugging in the rubber ducky, getting payload, like, yay. So now I'm feeling a lot better because I pwned somebody. It's like, and also better because they did a good job. They had already spotted me and someone was coming up to me, but instead of like, just dodging out and leaving and saying, oh, I'm good, I got away, and not really finishing the experience, I went straight back up to the front desk and talked to the guy who met me, and I explained to him what happened. He's like, yeah, we already got a report. And I'm telling him, and I told him, like, well, you've already done a great job. It's like, I'm going to keep doing, see if I can do some more education, see what else I can get away with. So I went back into the test area. It's like back on this floor, and every section without fail, even though I may have been successful, which is not important, at least plugging in the device, at least onto 1 machine or 2 machines, in every section, an employee stopped me and questioned me. And that was probably the best engagement I've ever been on. It's like, because they did a great job. They learned, they adapted. It's like, and I went in on the second day and it was just as difficult, and I'd already gone in the night before and stolen all their lanyards. So I actually, on the next day, I had a green lanyard, which showed that I was a vetted employee. And they still questioned me. It's like, I still got stopped by people. And that's how you do it. And it's like, and that made it seem like what I was doing the first year when I went through them like butter counted, because they took something to it and they took it to heart. So that was probably my most difficult one to do, because I had to panic and last minute just dive in and try to YOLO and pwn something. But it was also awesome because they did a great job. And that's what it's not about getting shell. It's not about getting shell or getting something like that. It's about making the blue team better. It's about improving their defenses. It's about them learning. It's about them getting better with how they defend against real world kind of attacks. So it was awesome. Any other questions? Yes. Skylar.
So again, you may have answered this question already, but how did you get into hacking? And social engineering and stuff.
Okay. That is come with me along this long, boring story. First of all, when we talk about being hackers, it's like everybody here is a hacker. Straight up, that's a default given. It's like we were born hackers. You were born with an innate curiosity. It's just a lot of people outgrow that, and a lot of people forget about that and how to have that imagination and how to think differently. It's like we were all born hackers. It's like some of us just kept it. And that's the way I was. It's like I always had a bent on security and GUI hacking. I like changing things and making them look different than what they were. But back when I was over 25 years ago, I know I don't look that old, thank you. It's like I had some work done. But It's like about 25 years ago, I got into IT. It's like, because I was doing physical security and I got tired of getting shot at, literally. So I went into desktop support and IT support. And then I'm a high school dropout. It's like I used to live behind a dumpster. It's like I did not start off like with the computer, like all the skills or anything like that. It's like I literally just started off like, oh, I can do support because I had to figure out how to make things work. Never been to college, didn't have any kind of idea on how the computers were supposed to work, just how I could try to make them work. And so I went into IT support, used every spare moment that I had in the building to do research and learn about computers. And then back in 2000, 20 years ago, I actually got introduced as like someone asked me, he's like, hey, would you like to work in network security? And I was like, whoa, hold on here. You mean I can do security and computers, but no one shoots at me? Motherfucker, that's amazing. I'm all about that. So that's when I started. I stopped working that day. It's like, and got in this field. And so for the first 10 years of my career, I'm blue team all the way, baby. It's like, I love building defenses like a hacker. It's like, I didn't just build walls, I built traps. I built ways that we would segment. I built ways that we would detect. I built ways, it's like, oh, look at that, that's adorable. You thought you could get in that way? I thought you would probably try to get in that way too. That's why I have that in there, and that's why it's on that network and LAN, and that's why you're busted. So I love doing blue team. It's like, and then about 10 years ago, about 2009, 2010, I started doing, not red teaming back then. It's like I started just learning how to attack. It's like I made really good defenses for the bank I worked for, but now I was like, but how do we rob it? How do we break into it? How do we actually test what all those defenses I'm doing work? And so I started doing that. And then I got inspired by this guy. He's an a-hole, so I'm not giving him credit. But I got inspired by this guy about the social engineering aspect of it and the red teaming and doing all that. It's like, man, I can actually real life rob a bank. That sounds like effing exciting. So I convinced somehow the owner of the bank that hired me to let me rob his bank branches. It's like, and it was awesome. I was supposed to do 10 branches in this other city for a client. It's like, and I think he said, well, you can do this one. I was like, sure, I'll do that. By the fourth one, where I was 4 out of 4 successful, they said, okay, we're stopping now. We're done. It's like, I'm like, but I still got 6 more. Maybe we'll get better. No. So I was done there. And so that's when I started getting better. And I started feeling confident, like, maybe I know how to do this. Maybe I can start doing the red teaming stuff. So I literally, at the first couple of years, I thought, and I had the illusions of grandeur, like I was going to be a red teamer. And then I realized, and I met more red teamers. The more red teamers I was meeting, the less impressed I was with red teaming. So that's why for the last 3 or 4 years, I do security awareness engagements. I don't do red teaming. It's like I try to be the worst possible thing to happen to you at the worst possible time in the worst possible way. I'm great at parties. But I also then educate every single engagement, every single time. Every time I've compromised a facility, except for once, it's like because I was very embarrassed. But every single time, except for once, I would finish the engagement. I would walk out of the building. I'd walk out of the area. I would wait 2 minutes to prove that I successfully compromised them and got away with it. And then I would come back, usually with an employee with me to validate and show support and authority and explain to the people exactly what I did, why it was wrong, and what they can do to make that better. Because red teams are great at giving reports that then go to the management. And then 3 months later, the employees get a memo saying, oh, this is how you failed. We need to stop giving employees all the ways that they failed and start making sure they have successes to look up to as well. We have to start showing that, okay, this happened bad, but this person, Susie in accounting, she caught them. And this is what she did to catch them. Show them what to work up to, not all the things just look down on. And that's how I do my engagement. I stopped doing red teaming. I stopped doing social engineering engagements. I do security awareness engagements only. It's like I will break in, I will compromise, and then I will educate. And if you don't have the educational factor in there, you're wasting everybody's time. Sorry, that was a long one, but that was it. That's how I got here. Any other question over here with Razan? Hi.
Yes. So what would you say is the worst part about your job?
The worst part about my job, that's a loaded question. Sometimes it's this community, to be honest with you, sorry. It's like some of the people that are toxic, some of the people that are gatekeeping, some of the people that are judgmental. I'm tired of dealing with that. It's like it gets more and more evident that we have problems in our community with that. So I have problems with some of the people in it. We need to understand that this is one of the cool things about AltSpace VR, because this is the closest we've come to, like, you know, old school BBSs. It's like, I don't know, are you really a robot? Cybernet 3? I mean, that's not a real robot. I mean, no judgment, you know, if you are. It's like AI is doing really good. But still, that's how you represent yourself, and that's it. No matter how much, the way you share information, that's what I'm concerned about. I don't care about what you look like. I don't care about what gender you identify as, or what God you pray to or you don't, or what part of this world you live in. We're all belong here. We're all part of this community. It's like everybody wants to be Neo, and then we turn into Agent Smith for some reason. It's like, and that irritates me. It's like this gatekeeping that we got to do. It's like we're hackers. When have we ever gone through a gate? Jump that mother fence. It's like, don't let gatekeepers try to keep you out. It's like, so that's one of the biggest problems. It's like on engagements, it's just dealing with people and trying not to hurt their feelings, not to let them know that they failed, but they just didn't know. Because on an engagement, you have to understand, if I rob a bank with a shotgun and ski mask, I'm usually going to have a bad day. You know why? Because they were trained for that. There are no stupid employees. There are no stupid users. It's like they're uneducated users. It's like if we're not training them what they're supposed to be doing, if we're not showing them that their responsibilities include security, then we can't keep getting mad when they do insecure things. Part of your job responsibility for an employee is to be responsible, to check emails, to make sure you're not clicking on links that you're not supposed to be careful about what websites you go to. That's a job responsibility. And if they don't realize that, how is that their fault? That's on us. So we need to go better about how we educate our employees, how we talk to them, how we teach them this is what you do. From the mailroom to the CEO, one of your job responsibilities in that corporation is security, and you should be held responsible for it. Not treat it like an extra burden, like something you don't have to worry about. Because if you're not showing that it's directly affects the way they feed and clothe their children, they're not going to care about it. So you need to teach them that, and you need to make sure that they understand that. Next question. Next question.
Question that is being relayed
Yes.
through me from the Rapture. He's in the
Yes.
room. He is wanting to know if you're going to have some mint chocolate chip ice cream after this to celebrate.
If they think I deserve it, I'll have it. There we go. But yes, most likely I will have some mint chocolate ice cream. I have to go get some outside. That's like a whole forage attempt. Going out into the wild. Any other questions?
Okay.
I'll start randomly picking people.
We've got a question on deck from Nano Mass.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, so we all like to play with like the cool toys, lock picking, under door tools, and all that kind of stuff, RFID cloners, etc. How
Right.
often do you actually use them? And yeah, what's your experience with that kind of stuff?
I use lock picking tools and I use RFID cloners mostly every time I'm doing a demo. That's it. On the engagement, I've never done. Why? I don't have to be good at lock picking. It's like I tell people I have like 3 methods of entering to a door. Okay, I either have cardboard to go through the motion sensor or a crowbar. And if those don't work, it's employees or security that are letting me through. It's like I've never had an option where they've let me use the crowbar. But I've been pretty effing successful with that cardboard and more successful with just people letting me in. So no, I've never used lock picks on this situation. I know some people that have done it and some people that have used it, but no, I'm not that advanced. It's like it's really that simple. It's like, it's so simple that I can do it. It's like, I don't say that to be depreciating and stuff. I say it because it's true. It's like people want to make it look like it's this advanced ninja techniques. You got like these red teamers going like, oh, I'm coming through the roof. And it's like, we're going, what the ever? I mean, seriously. It's like I'm walking in saying, hey, I'm with IT. We're trying to make the network go faster. And it works. I'm on camera and video saying that it works. Saying I'm here with the network to make it faster. It's like, and I got full access to the bank. So it's like, I've never used the advanced tools like that. It's like, I've used them for demos. I use them to talk to the employees. I use them to talk to executives to let them know what dangers are out there. But when you go into an engagement and you talk about how awesome and advanced and all cool your 0-day payloads are, you know what your management hears? You know what your client hears? Your client hears, thank goodness, we're protected. And I'm like, what mother, how does that make you protected? It's like, I just showed you how we got in and how we, and they're going to be like, well, yeah, but listen to how advanced you were. Look how like sophisticated you were. It's like, we don't have to worry about that. We don't have nation state secrets that someone's going to try to get after us with. It's like, when I come in and I go, as you can tell from the video on your surveillance footage, I started here and 2 minutes and 22 seconds later, you see me behind the teller line, twirling in the chair with full access to everything. And I was there for over 30 minutes and you got a problem. That's something you're going to have to approach. That's something you're going to have to face. You can't go and say, that was a nation state. That was a homeless person walking in that was dressed nice and getting into your vault. That's a problem. So it's like, that's what you have to show them. You have to show them how easy it is. And trust me, it's not as easy as it seems because I've got experience. I've got techniques. I've learned to make it, but you want to show them how easy it can be. So they take it more seriously because you want them to be protected after you leave. You don't want them to feel like they've got it all taken care of. Next question. Grifter, what was your question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, how is it that you're so awesome even in VR?
I have role models. It's like, it's like the way that I look at it, it's like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the right kind of people to look up to. It's like people like you, Grifter, the amazing Grifter. It's like everybody. It's like, but then to be honest with you, it was when my first con, the first con I got started at was DEF CON 12. And it's like getting introduced to that community and seeing people like Adam Laurie and FX from the Phenolite crew and them and Grifter. And it's like, and Jeff Moss. It's like, and getting people and seeing how down to earth they are, seeing how cool they were, and they weren't putting on airs, how they weren't trying to act all special or like, oh, I'm a rock star. It's like, and treated me just like a hacker. I was never before on the scene. I was a total idiot that year, but they treated me like I belonged. And that gave me the courage to keep going. That gave me the impetus to keep going. So it's like, if you don't have role models like that, then you need to find new ones. It's like, because none of your role models should be rock stars. None of your role models should be legends. They should be people doing work and trying to make things better. And one of my favorite hackers in the world is Philippe Cadouguli. It's like, I can't say his name right, but I'm American, he's French, so I just mingled it. But he goes by Teton. This guy is elite. I saw him like over a decade ago almost, I think, tapping into fiber. It's like, I mean, he hacks all kinds. He got access to a mainframe through the internet. It's like, in connecting and double honing into an internet. This guy was a genius. How many people here know him? He's got more. There are cats that have more followers than he does on Twitter. He is one of the nicest people in this industry. He's one of the nicest people in this community who's constantly doing research, constantly helping out. And anytime someone comes up and asks for a favor, he is there to help. But no one knows him because he's not a rock star, because he doesn't get up on this, which is supposed to make us more important for some stupid reason. It's like, the only difference between me and you is that I'm babbling more. It's like, and talking more than doing. It's like, so listen to all the other people out there that have projects. Those are your role models. Those are the people you should be looking up to. Those are the people that are doing work and contributing to this community. So that's how I'm awesome. It's because of all the people that I follow and try not to disappoint. I didn't know it was going to go serious. Sorry, Grifter. But good question. Good question. Any other questions?
We've got a question on deck from Skylar.
Yes.
Hi, me again.
Yes.
So, what is the dumbest thing someone has ever said to you after you're done your engagement?
After I've done my engagement? Oh. There's so many dumb things. Oh, but I'm usually the one saying them, though. Oh, you mean someone said, not dumb things I've said, dumb things someone else has said. Okay, sorry. Oh, okay. I had this engagement. It's like, and this is a good example of how you have to make sure you talk to management and you get things done right. Is I had a CEO of a company. The guy, he wanted security. He wanted everything to be right, but he was going about it the wrong way. And one of the things that he wanted, I couldn't provide him. And he wanted me to give him a list of everybody that I compromised. I do not record who fails. I only record who succeeds. Any person that catches me, their full name goes on a report that they did a good job. And I always highly recommend that report gets spread throughout the company, so they get recognition for doing a job well done, because you want to give them something to look up to. He wanted a list of people that failed for a phishing campaign. He hired me to do a phishing campaign, and he was like, I want a list of everybody who clicks the link. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not going to be productive, dude. It's like, well, I mean, because people are going to click the link. It's like, I'm going to make it where they click the link. It's like, that's what I do. I'm the bad guy. And he's like, I don't care. It's like, I'm just going to record it for just in case of possible discipline. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, I'm out. But I couldn't just leave because it was part of a grander engagement that I was subcontracted through. So I had to go through with it. So he gave me parameters. And that's where scope is key, my friends. Scope is always going to be key. Why do I always keep turning around this way? Okay. So what I did was, he said I could pick one person or 100. He said it didn't matter how many. He didn't matter who they were. He just said I had to do one from the 100. I had to be successful, and I had to record their name. I can work with those parameters. People don't understand. Clients, when they want to hire you, they want you to go like this. We want you to attack us like an attacker would. So I'm like, here's my scope. This is my scope. And you're like, well, yeah, we want you to attack us like an attacker would. but you're gonna have to do it Monday through Friday because we want to be able to show we can support it. I'm like, okay, but attack us just like an attacker would. I'm like, okay, sure. It's like, oh wait, we don't want you to mess with production systems because that'd be like bad. It's like if something crashes. But we want you to attack us like an attacker would. And I'm like, okay. And oh wait, here's this little why can't they go closer? There's a little IP server. Can you go after that one? But attack us just like an attacker would. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll attack you just like an attacker would. Because that's exactly how an attacker is going to attack you. So I had that scope. He told me what to do, what my scope was. So I attacked one person in the company. It was him. And he clicked on the link and he was compromised. And I left him on the report. I put his name on there. It's like I did the job. I never worked for that client again, but I did what was required and I feel great about it. So I kept it in scope. But that was probably one of the dumbest parameters and the dumbest thing, because what did he get out of that? He got nothing. It's like he just learned that anybody is going to click the link. But it could have been a much better test and a much better company-wide engagement if he would have not been so adamant about making people get in trouble for it. How long do I get to go? Because I go for hours on these things. I'm in virtual, so it just doesn't even matter, Though
Yeah,
I'm tired because I'm actually standing up.
5 more minutes. Yeah, if you're good for another 5 minutes, we can do that. Otherwise,
Yeah, I'm good for another 5 minutes. Anybody else got another question? I'm gonna randomly pick someone. Someone with purple hair, probably. Any purple hair people around? Oh, Al, how you doing? You got a question?
How did I know?
You sound so far away.
I'm sorry. What was the most I can't believe that worked moment?
This one goes back to scope, and I've actually did this. If you watch my Breaking in Bad talk from YouTube, it's on my website. It's like I was told that I had to break into this one office building, but I could only do it after 5:30 at night. I couldn't talk to anybody coming out of the building because that would be bad, because I didn't know if they were employees, so that would not be in scope. And I could only stay in the lobby because it was a shared building. And the best part about it was I could only talk to the cleaning crew, but they weren't actual employees. So I could not lie to them. So if I could get the cleaning crew to let me into the suite of the client, that would be fine. That's cool. Sure, no problem. Just don't lie to them. Just get them. Excuse me, I'm trying to rob this office. Can you let me in, please? Not quite. I told the absolute truth. I got in through the front door by just walking in like I was on my phone, and the lady let me in. And then I waited for 2 hours. It's like, it was desperate times. My iPhone battery was like down to like 5% by the time it was done. It's like, I heard the cleaning crew finally. After 2 hours, I went to the cleaning crew lady and I told her the absolute honest truth in the most dishonest way possible. I said, hi, I'm trying to get back into this suite number. And I was, because I was there the day before. I'm trying to get back into it now. It's like, I have just gone to the bathroom and I don't have my badge, my employee badge. I've been there for 2 hours. I drank water. I had to go to the bathroom. So I just got in the bathroom. I did not have my employee badge with me. I have an authorized employee badge for my primary day job. I did not have that on me because I was not doing my day job stuff. So therefore that was true. And I said, can you let me back in here? I'm working late tonight. I'm on the clock. They're paying me for this. And it's like, and I just need to do one thing, which was to destroy their network. So I said everything 100% true. She let me in, and it's on video. It's like I showed the client everything. And they were like, what the actual, and I'm like, there. That showed us, right? That was a great test. It's like you define it and you get hardly any value from it. But that was probably the most ridiculous request I've ever heard. It's like, go and tell the truth and good luck. Any other questions? One more question? Random person going to be picked. Yes, Ducky. It's like, shoot, I shouldn't have done the emojis.
I know, right? Totally got myself caught out. How's the trike?
I love the trike, dude. That's literally been a lifesaver. It's like, I've been having a really bad, bout with mental issues and mental health things. And moving to Houston has like literally almost killed me, which is, we don't want to go into there like the last minute. But like I said, I don't filter. But last year, I just realized maybe I should try to start surviving instead of start trying to die. So I started looking and trying to improve things. And then like in probably September, I realized I just need to get out of the house. I was just staying in the house. I was just like, just dwelling in there. And I wasn't doing anything constructive. And so I needed to get out. But Houston is so horrible and scarring to me that it's like I couldn't just leave in a car. It's like I wanted to do something else. I didn't know how to get out. So when I got that trike and I saw it and I was able to customize it, it was amazing. So now I random right now during quarantine, my isolated hacker ventures, I open up Google Earth. I look for something in a 100-mile radius of my house. And then I wait till around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night when no one's going to be there. And I drive to it. I was like at the seawall. It's like at midnight one time, just because. I'd go there, take a selfie or two, enjoy it, take a drink. I have snacks and a drink in my backpack, just enjoy being there and then drive home. And that is amazing. Just the ride, just being able to be out in there because I can't think of all the stuff. It's like I'm just on the bike. So I love it.
Yeah, all you can do when you ride is just ride.
Exactly. And it's been so freeing for me. So it's like, so I ride as much as I can. It's like, it helps. Well, okay, I think that's about it. Guys, thank y'all for having me. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. It's like, once again, this is a really great venue. Stick around for the after party. Stick around for the rest of the experience. This is definitely something I'm going to be doing again. It's like, I like hanging out and seeing my friends. Even though Victor's obviously on the phone right now, tweeting instead of paying attention to me. Grifter, I'm calling you out. There you go. He's like, whatever. It's like. Gotcha. See you guys. Take care.
Well done. Thank you so much for jumping up and sharing. As Jayson mentioned, we do have an after party. We're going to be opening up the room in about an hour. Or shortly after the talks, actually. So here really soon. The first set is an acoustic set from VR Luke. So for anybody that has been in Altspace before, he regularly does just random acoustic concerts at the campfire area. And so he's just been really involved with the community here. And so we wanted to give him the acoustic platform for the open party. And that's going to be really chill. It's going to still be in the club, but you're going to have flashing lights and a nice calm acoustic set. And then after that, at 8 Central, we're going to start a whole bunch of awesome music. Trash Panda, who's one of the regulars here as well, is going to be doing a live DJ set. So if you need the information for that, it is on Twitter, and we posted it in Discord. We'll probably open up the event as a public space later if we're not getting enough people in. So just keep an eye out for that. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This has been a ton of fun. This turned out way better than we expected. We just thought it would be a fun experiment, and we didn't expect to have nearly this size of a turnout. I just want to end with a quick shout out to Altspace VR for letting us use this platform. They were incredibly supportive. They actually assigned somebody on their team to come and help us prepare for this event. And so I just can't say enough thanks to them. So thank you, everybody. We'll be closing this room soon, but hopefully we'll see you all in the after party. Thanks.